Hello there, and welcome to another episode of Electric Sheep. Without any further delay, let's delve back into sci fi finally with the story titled Limit Unknown.
Limit unknown. There was a time when athletes argued endlessly about what was natural: performance enhancers, supplements, gene therapy, artificial hormones. All of those debates eventually became irrelevant. Humanity had learned to engineer itself. The word natural survived, but its meaning changed. A natural athlete was no longer someone untouched by enhancement. A natural athlete was someone whose body was grown according to biological principles rather than mechanical replacement. No steel bones, no synthetic muscles, no cybernetic tendons. Only flesh, only blood, only genes. But those genes could now be sculpted with terrifying precision. Height could be selected, bone density could be increased, muscle fiber composition could be optimized, organs could be strengthened. Tendons could be woven denser than ancient engineers believed possible. Every generation grew larger, stronger, faster. The old records became jokes. The strongest men of previous centuries looked ordinary beside modern schoolchildren. And among all engineered humans, two brothers stood above the rest. Both had been designed from the finest genetic templates ever assembled. Both were intended to be perfect. Yet perfection failed. A tiny error occurred during development. One brother's mind never fully matured. His body grew exactly as intended. His muscles were flawless. His skeleton was flawless. His cardiovascular system was flawless. But his brain developed differently. Not damaged, not broken, simply incomplete. He spoke little, rarely smiled, rarely celebrated. While his brother became famous, the superior brother possessed everything: strength, intelligence, charisma, confidence. Sponsors adored him, crowds worshipped him, scientists studied him. He shattered records effortlessly. Every competition followed the same pattern. The stunted brother would perform first, a new world record, thunderous applause. Then his brother would step forward and break it again and again and again. The superior brother was always stronger, always. Or so everyone believed. Years passed. Records climbed into impossible territory. Then came the grand performance, the largest strength exhibition in human history, a global broadcast, a demonstration intended to reveal the limits of engineered humanity. Every researcher, every trainer, every technician, every resource, all focused on the superior brother. The event was scheduled one day before the annual mega storm, a weather phenomenon so violent entire cities shut down in preparation. The superior brother would perform tomorrow. Today was merely preparation, a warm-up exhibition, the stunted brother's turn. Nobody expected anything extraordinary. Just another record, just another number for his brother to surpass. The barbell waited at the center of the arena, 450 kilograms, the heaviest deadlift ever attempted. The audience watched politely. The stunted brother approached. No speech, no introduction, no celebration. He simply gripped the bar and lifted. The weight rose from the floor, slowly, smoothly, successfully. A new world record. The crowd applauded. Officials prepared to record the result. Then the stunted brother kept lifting. The bar passed his waist, his chest, his shoulders, until 450 kilograms rested overhead. The arena grew quiet. That wasn't part of the lift. Yet there he stood, holding it. Seconds passed. Then he lowered the weight. Everyone expected the crash, the impact, the celebration. Instead, the plates barely kissed the stage. Before the weight rose again. Overhead. Down. Down. Up. Again. And again. And again. Hours passed. The audience remained. Commentators exhausted their vocabulary. Medical teams became concerned. Researchers checked equipment repeatedly. Nothing was malfunctioning. The brother simply continued. His breathing remained steady, his expression unchanged. The weight never seemed to slow. The sun crossed the sky. Still he lifted. The day ended. Still he lifted. Darkness arrived. Still he lifted. Then warning sirens echoed across the city. The mega storm was approaching. Emergency broadcasts ordered evacuation. The audience reluctantly departed. Technicians left, researchers left, officials left. The arena emptied. Only two people remained: the stunted brother and the superior brother. Rain began to fall. Wind screamed across the empty stadium. The stunted brother lifted the bar one final time. 450 kilograms, locked overhead, perfectly stable, motionless like a statue. Lightning flashed beyond the horizon. The superior brother stared. He knew strength. He understood leverage, fatigue, recovery, limits, every limit. He had spent his entire life measuring them, calculating them, breaking them. Yet what stood before him did not fit within any model. Hours, an entire day. No exhaustion, no failure, no struggle. The superior brother knew with complete certainty that he could not do this. Not for an hour, not for 10 minutes, perhaps not even for 1 minute. The storm arrived. Rain became a wall of water. Lightning illuminated the arena. Still, the weight remained overhead. The stunted brother did not move, did not tremble, did not lower the bar. The superior brother watched as the impossible stood beneath the storm. For the first time in his life, he felt something unfamiliar. Not jealousy, not fear, wonder. The scientists had measured intelligence, measured speed, measured strength, measured endurance, measured potential. They had measured everything, except whatever this was. Another flash of lightning revealed his brother standing alone against the storm, holding half a ton above his head as if gravity itself had forgotten its duty. The superior brother stared into the darkness and thought the only conclusion available to him. Limit unknown.
Well, I really liked how that story turned out. Strongman competitions are things that I think are just so fascinating because they're not just amazing modern feats of strength, but those feats of strength have been celebrated for a long time. Just about every culture in the world has their version of lifting heavy shit to impress somebody if it isn't just picking up rock. Um, but then with technology and human ingenuity advancing and sci-fi ideas, it really makes you wonder how far human beings could actually go and how long that would actually take. Keep in mind, I didn't put a year in this story. It's just the future. You know, is it 1,000 years in the future? Is it 100? How quickly do human beings advance? Even without human beings modifying themselves, records will continue to be broken. But without fancy genetic engineering, we have people using performance enhancers, and well, I use asthma medication because I'm pretty pretty weak in the breathing department if I don't use my asthma. So you could say I use performance enhancers. My stack is salbutamol and Symbicort. If I don't use them both, I suffer quite a bit. I just rediscover that all over again because I keep not following directions. But then you wonder what would the regiment, the health regimen, be for these modified humans of the future? You know, like what amazing ingredient do their bodies digest the same things we digest? Would they have to eat foods completely foreign to our thinking? I think in Warhammer it was mentioned that Marines have to be fed food with like ceramic in it because their bones have ceramic. And so it's like, and there goes the question of what is natural. It basically said in this version of the story, the only definition of natural was you were born of genetics, basically, like you don't have replacement parts in a future where people could have replacement cyborg parts. That would be considered unnatural, I suppose. Um, I think I had a slightly different definition of natural versus unnatural in my writing, but I didn't mind this change. It wasn't so far off. I just liked the idea of the definition changing. I wasn't married to the definition that I came up with, which was more the difference between unmodified humans, like guys taking steroids would be considered natural as long as they weren't like genetically engineered, is was the version that I was going for. But in this, anybody who was not cyborg or something of that like even people genetically engineered would be considered natural. And I think that's an interesting distinction as well. But yeah, I'll just leave it at that. I like this story. Let me know if you didn't like it or if it was confusing. Sometimes descriptions of actions about what's happening because he was lifting the weights up and down and or holding it above his head for a long period of time in the storm. I don't know how clear that was, so let me know if anything was unclear. I'm Captain Canada, Joseph Arthur Roszell. I want to thank you for watching. I want to wish you all luck in the world. I love you. And I want you to remember that suicide is never the answer. Peace out for now.